Welcome back guys, it's Kydro, and in this video I will show you probably one of the most broken builds that the WoW TCG has. If you guys don't know, there is the Peaks of Prestige event going on right now in Wuthering Waves, and this one is somewhat of an auto chess and TCG card game. But some of these challenges are actually quite difficult, so I looked around and most people are just abusing this one specific build. And yes, the whole idea of this build is to have just one card that you buff up infinitely until it's able to just kill the enemy, pretty much. So every time we stack something on top of it, the card gets stronger, it adds one more damage on top of it. I will also show you guys the build at the end of the video, so if you just want to copy it like that, you can fast forward. And to show you guys how it works, we will just play one game. And we are just using Baringle, simple to the fact because he's Arrow, and we need the mix of Arrow and Havoc element in the card deck. And we are also gonna pick Xian Liao because he will kinda help us getting this build started. And for this showcase, we're also gonna use the Endless Challenge Difficult. In the beginning of this card game, I was quite struggling, but after finding this build, I'm gonna be real, this is a bit of a cheese build. It kind of feels like cheating, but for some people that maybe want to reach the point really fast or just enjoy having the most cheesy builds in games, well, this build is for you then. What this build focuses on is getting new cards all the time in an infinite loop, while also making sure that our card gets stronger. The most important card in this build is not on the screen right now, that's why I'm gonna try to get new ones in. We're also gonna replace these two cards to get this one, exactly. That's the card we've been waiting for, Havoc Warrior, and this is the most broken card in the game. And I will also explain why. As you guys can see, this card has a skill called Versatility. When Versatility is activated, this echo can be modulated by any normal echo with no restrictions. So if you guys know about the modulation system, how it works, you put this card down and only put one card on top of it. Well, for this card, it's different. There is no limit. Which means right now I can just put another card on top of it and it gets another stack of damage on top of it. Now we are already starting the infinite loop, and our goal is going to be to get infinite cards all the time while making sure that we are not running out of energy. And to keep this loop going, what we have to do is sometimes sacrifice cards like this one, and then of course use cards that modulate and that give you two cards in return. So that's what I'm going to do with this one. I'm gonna get two cards again. I can just sacrifice these two. Now, I don't have a card that gives me card for modulation, but this one, which is also one of the important ones, gives you 3 cards back just by transforming them. So that's what we're gonna do. We get another 3 cards back. Now we can sacrifice this one. We don't need this one right now. We can use the Scorpion, gives us another 2 cards. We can sacrifice this one. This one gives us another 2 cards for modulation. We can sacrifice these. Now we have no modulation cards left, but we do have the transformation card. So we're gonna use this one, and we are also gonna get this one back. So this one will give us again 3 cards. And you can see where this is going. We put another card on top of it, we get 2 cards again. I'll sacrifice these. Then we can again use transformation. Let's hope we get another, yep, we get another one that gives us cards back. The Arrow Predator, we're gonna put this one again on top. And if we are lucky, we could actually beat the opponent in the first round, but it's just very unlikely because sometimes we will just run out of the cards that gives us the cards back, but we can try, of course. So again, put it on top for modulation, we get 2 in return. What I also like to do, and this is also the second part of the most important thing in this build, is the Whiff Wef. We also have to put the Whiff Wef into the stack mechanic. So if you guys didn't know, every card that you put on top of it actually adds a new ability to it. And Whiff Wef is especially important because this one has a skill that increases the damage from this card by 20% for each ability. So we're gonna put this card next. So I'm gonna sacrifice to get energy. I'm gonna put this on top, and now we can see it now has a new ability, the superpower. And now what we can do, of course, we're gonna keep going with the energy. We also can do this one to get more energy, get 2 cards back, put this on top, put this on top, get more and more cards back. All right. Do more of this, it makes sense just from showing it like this. I was thinking of how can I make a guide like this, but I think just playing the game and showing how it works is probably the thing that makes most sense. I kind of messed up, but we can sacrifice one of those. We get 2 cards back. Sacrifice this, put this on top. Sacrifice this. And we already stacked it up by 19. So again, keep going as far as it's possible. Getting these. So far we are lucky, but right now you can see we cannot keep going anymore. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna put the dragon next to it, so we have a bit more swipeability. But yeah, I don't know if it's possible to beat enemies in the first round, but second round is more likely and third round pretty much guaranteed. It just comes down to your RNG with your cards. But here we go, we already defeated the first round pretty easily, because with Whiff, as I said, it just makes the card so much stronger. The goal is also going to be, when the card is high enough, like it has 23 already, we should be able actually to defeat him in this round. So what I'm going to do is now focusing on putting a strong card on top of this, because this guy is not very tanky. And the good thing is, when we put a card on top of it, it just gets, of course, the HP that the card has. But just to make sure, we're gonna get more stacks on top of it. So let's keep stacking, get more cards. I'll sacrifice this one, put the pig, the boar for my energy, get more cards in. In the beginning, it's quite tricky to actually do this, in my opinion, because you get a bit lost in stacking and sometimes you do mistakes, as I do it all the time. But yeah, it's gonna be fine. I think it's quite straightforward if you understand the whole loop. Right now, we kind of should focus on making the card stronger. So what I'm gonna do now is we're gonna put this card on top of it. Just decide who you want to buff. You get a card back. I mean, theoretically, you can also put this guy now here. Can we do that? Yeah, I think we can. And this should pretty much guarantee us the win. So let's see. Since this guy is now stacked up to the wazoo, he's gonna one-shot everything. You can just watch the damage numbers. Yep, does tons of damage now. 15k right there. We were not even that lucky with the RNG, because we got out of cards 2 times. So yeah, if you're luckier than me, you can maybe even do this in the first round and the second round. It just comes down to the hearts of the cards, guys. But this is pretty much the most broken build that I've found so far. I think the Havoc Warrior just enables this playstyle, and it's very cheesy, very broken. So yeah, that's how you use the deck, and now I can show you guys what the deck actually looks like. As I said, we're just using the Berengal because he's arrow, and most arrow cards and Havoc cards give us the cards back and give us energy and stuff. Cards that I'm using here, we're using Nocturnus Knight 2 times, Arrow Predator 2 times, Arrow Drake, Havoc Warrior, Whiff, Banger Junrock, Fission Junrock, Sarbier Boar, Diamond Claw, and Diggy Duggy. All these cards focus on giving us energy back and giving us cards back. You've seen how the loop works, try it yourself. I'm pretty sure there is other things you could do to make this build even better or to make it even faster. A lot of people are using this right now. So yeah, I hope this was helpful. If this was, give this a thumbs up. I appreciate you all for watching. For more Wuthering Waves, subscribe, and I'll see you guys, as always, in the next one. Bye bye.